Are you ready? Here we go.
Okay.
Put your hands up.
I'm gonna start this. I'm scared. Are we scared? No, we're gonna do the Groot move.
Okay. We're ready.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Season 4, episode 1. Wow, rusty.
Still, I thought you were gonna say welcome
Welcome
to
the Energy and Heart Podcast.
hosted by
Jiggy.
and Steph.
Wow. New studio vibes.
What do we think?
We love it. However, want to start off shouting out Kev Lou in the stew for helping us out for season 2 and season 3. We're very grateful. And as promised since like day 1, we just want to keep getting better and better.
Switching it up.
Let's go. It's just so pretty, you know?
And it's different vibes, I think.
Yeah. We'll tell you in the last episode where we're at. But
For now, you can guess.
for now, it's a secret. But it's very exciting. Geez. That was been a longer break.
It's been
since the last episode.
2.5 months since.
All right, let's talk about it.
Why you sound like that? Why you sound tired already? We just started. You're like pumped like 20 seconds ago. Okay. What happened in the last 2.5 months?
You went to Hawaii,
Okay, yes.
which is
So-
related to our episode today.
So I turned 30
Oh, yeah.
and happy birthday to me. Yay! I turned 30 and as part of my 30th, I went to Hawaii with Bae, with Kato for 3 weeks. And I guess there's so much to say about the experience, but I feel like I'll just like summarize it in one thing. I think when people talk about their experiences, they're just like, oh, I did this thing or like I did that thing. I think for me, it was like sort of like it wasn't quite 100% a vacation and it wasn't quite 100% work. It was kind of like a mix of all these things. And I think in previous episodes in the last season, I was talking a lot about like rest and my rest journey. And I think for this trip was kind of like a culmination and the end point of a very significant part of my rest journey. And so Kato and I have been planning this for a few months, and it actually took a lot of intentional work to actually get me to finally be present while I'm in Hawaii. And so I think like the main thing about Hawaii that I got was just like, I came out of it feeling very, very alive and very, very present. And that's something that I just hadn't experienced for a really long time. And this sounds very like, why are we like saying this? And it's because like I feel like for a long time I was just like so working all the time. Like, you know, this, like you probably felt the difference too. Like when I came back, it's different. But yeah, coming back, I think one of the most significant memories from Hawaii was actually in the final days. You know, Kato and I we just went to the beach, and we just like stayed there all day. I don't know about you, but in LA, I don't stay at the beach all day. I just like go for a few hours because it takes so much time and energy to do it. And we stayed there, and this is the first time I think in a long time that I spent like 8 hours just like lying there, like just in the afternoon all the way until like the sun completely like set. And I remember looking out into the water and just thinking like, wow, like I just feel really grateful to be alive. Like I feel really grateful to just like be able to experience this in this specific way. So what I mean by that is that like I am very present with like the sounds that are coming in, the like experience of like the water, the like fact that my partner is here, the like and this sounds so like it sounds like it sounds very simple, but for me it's just like something was very missing for a long time. And that's why like I even embarked on a rest journey, was to like finally feel like I'm like here and my spirit feels full, like not, and my body feels strong. And yeah, so you know, I watched the waves crash, and then all of a sudden I'm like crying, and I'm just like, oh my god, I feel here, and it's taken such a long time to actually like get here. And I think part of the crying too was just like, man, I think it was partial like happiness and gratitude, but also a lot of it was like grief. It was just like thinking about how long did I prolong being able to be here for the sake of work, for the sake of like getting supposedly improving myself. Like I think there's limitations to these things that we do, or there should be boundaries and limitations to how far we're willing to go, because at some point there's a cost to what we do. And I was just like, damn, like I really cost myself so much of life and living to be able to do the things I used to do. And then I think something about turning 30. Like, something about turning 30.
Yo, it's liberating, huh?
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm good on trying to prove like that I'm a great entrepreneur. I'm done proving like I can build a business. I'm done proving like I can make this money or whatever. Like all these different things that I was trying to prove. I was just like, you know what? I'm just really committed to integrating some level of presence in everyday life, and I'm okay with things taking a little bit longer if that enables me to be here. And I think that comes from like feeling, this sounds so meta. This is giving like season 2 or season 3 when we were like not high. This is really giving that right now. Like,
keep going.
But it's just like grappling with mortality. Like I just remind myself every day, like, dude, you can literally come outside and like get hit by a car. You just don't know like what's gonna happen to you every single day. So like, can you live in a way that's intentional or present, that you would be okay with dying tomorrow? And so that's like what that was the big realization, I think, from Hawaii. So yeah, that was my trip to Hawaii.
Yo,
I mean, you did a lot of fun things, but like that was
take a breath here, breathe that in.
Yeah, I know.
Oof.
You know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. This brings me to, I feel as though every new season we're checking in, obviously, on where we are at in terms of like our rest journey. And I feel like that's been happening since season 1. Like season 1 was like, oh, was it like the last episode where it was like, oh, Steph like needs like what is it, an outlet. And then it was like, oh, it might be yoga. And then it was yoga.
Yeah.
And then she started doing yoga and the meditation. And then now it's like every season we're checking in and about where you are at with your rest journey. And I remember continuing to kind of reflect back to you how I'm experiencing you through this journey. And each season I'm like, I remember when you and Kato like came back from Mexico or something like that. And I was like, whoa, I was really surprised that you were down to come over to like eat and chill and like let us in on how the trip was, because usually you would have just gone upstairs because you needed to get something done right away or something. And then from all those steps to what we thought then, like to our understanding then of what rest is, to what now like embodying rest now. And it's not just like, I feel like our past selves, our past understanding of rest would have been like, oh, we went to the ocean and we looked at the sunset. But now she's over here like, I watched the waves crash, I listened to the ocean. Yo, when she came back from Hawaii, I was like, yo, let's go jet skiing. They do this jet skiing thing from Long Beach to Catalina Island. And I was like, yo, we should do that thing. It sounds so much fun. And she was like, no, I'm a little afraid of the water. And I was like, you just came back from Hawaii. Like, aren't you supposed to be one with the water right now? And she's like, no, I'm more like a mountain, like trees, woods kind of girl. And I was like, oh, so you're more like grounded vibes, not like staying afloat vibes.
Yes.
But yeah, I just kind of want to acknowledge that the progression of our ever continuing journey of understanding rest, because I have a different understanding of rest now too, and I think that these are just evolving steps. I don't think like one is better than the other or anything is wrong, but it's like, dude, rest, I'm really realizing, is at the end of the day, it's not even just going on a vacation somewhere beautiful. It's like, yo, slow down.
Yeah.
Gas pedal. Gas.
No.
No, that's speed up. Gas pedal. But now I'm reflecting back to you, my experience of you now, and on this chapter of your rest. And
Yeah.
in previous season, I would say like, oh, I'm noticing that you feel lighter. I'm noticing that you're not as stressed. I'm noticing that you have more time to prioritize for anything other than work. But my reflection to you this time has just actually has to do with play. It's not like you seem so rested. Like, it's not just that. On top of that, it's like you now have the spaciousness to play
A little bit more.
and like be a goof. And I don't think I've seen you this goofy in this amount of consistency. And that's how I am experiencing you now. Group vibes.
I like that.
Yeah. But yeah, rest, I'm really learning, is about slowing down and paying attention to every little detail of things. So when you said like it's not just about being able to relax or look at the ocean, but it's about the waves crashing and listening to that, it's like, how fast were we living that we couldn't even like listen to the waves crash? And the crazy thing is, they always been crashing. We're the ones not listening.
Bars. Yeah, I think with rest, right? I think, you know, you're saying like it's a ever evolving, like, or it's like you're taking like steps. I think the more you travel further into your rest journey, the more you realize how far gone you were from living. And I think that's the craziest part about it, is you just that's why there's so much crying, is because you're grieving, holy shit, like where have I been these years? Like every single day, every single moment, there's so much life happening. I think about like how our bodies and our cells, and like there's things like actually moving and changing at every single moment. You are not the same as you were like a second ago. And that's that for me, like I used to read these things and I was just like, haha, like so cool, that's life, you know. But now I'm just like, oh shit, like this is really cool, because like this is like I'm experiencing somebody that's like a changing person every single time. And I think there's some perspective I think that I receive from being with that idea, where I'm just like, oh shit, because people are always changing, something about that makes it makes life really exciting. Like every time I interact with you, you're a completely different person. And so just for some reason, like thinking about that makes me more excited about interacting with people in a way that I haven't before. Like I say good morning to people and I smile at people.
How dare you?
I know. Like I used to like just walk my dog and like not want to look at anyone, just like leave me alone. And now I'm just like, oh, like this is like one moment in time that I get to experience with this one person, even though it's fleeting, that's okay. But this is like really, really cool. Like this is just part of my human experience. And I know this sounds really strange. I know like it sounds like I'm on drugs, but like I'm really not. I'm just alive. This is what it feels like. And you don't have to have like, that's the other thing. You don't have to have so much in your life to actually have access to this realization. And so I'm really happy to have like reached that like perspective.
A part of me got really sad just now because like, how did we along the way of life and growing up and like going to school and getting a job and working so much and climbing the corporate ladder, and whether it's entrepreneurship, and they're always like, prove them wrong. And it's like, prove who wrong? But like, whatever, we're proving anybody wrong. But then we're so focused on just like the go, 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 that we're so focused on like success and achieving and proving and what is next and what's in the future, that like we don't even know what it's like to live in the now. And we can't even have time to like say hello to our neighbors or say hello to the people that we pass by. And something I'm noticing is like you keep saying like, I know this sounds woo woo, I know this sounds like I'm high and things like that, but I'm just like, I remember hearing this stuff from other people and be like, wow, you're a hippie.
Yeah.
But now that we're here, I'm like sad. Like, why does it have to be labeled as being a hippie, or like, why does it have to be labeled as something at all when we're truly actually just trying to live life, enjoy life, appreciate life as what it is? Like, why is that labeled as something to like point fingers at instead of being like a goal almost? And people think that when they work really hard, it's like they work really hard now in order to be able to live the life that they've always dreamed of. But why are we always chasing? And what makes you think that you'll be able to enjoy the future if you can't even enjoy the now? We can't even be at the ocean and listen to the waves crash and really reflect on like, wow, water makes sound. How amazing. We can't even appreciate that. So what makes you think that once we get to the future, we're going to, they always say that like once you achieve the things you've always wanted to achieve, you get there and it's like, that's it. And, you know, the goalpost keeps moving and we're always going to keep chasing. And it's like, what has to happen for us to just live in the now and live in the moment and just be here, be present, be grounded, all of that. But like, we're all gonna die.
You should flashback.
Sucked into the bagel. No, but it's true.
You should bring back every single season you get to this point, and I think this is the first season you got to it in the first episode. Usually it's like towards the end.
Yo, we're all gonna die.
Yeah. Speaking of this whole, you have to wait until you arrive somewhere. And
can I just say I'm really a big fan of this. I love that this is your starting position. No, I love that this is your starting position. And you
know what? I had Monster today. Okay?
Oh my god,
it's a little different. So, speaking of what you're saying about the person, now I can't stop looking at my hands. No, I'm subconscious. Okay, so speaking of the person, or speaking of what you said earlier, where you're like, I hate you. So, okay, speaking of what you're saying earlier, where like people say you have to wait until like the end in order to enjoy it. I had dinner with a friend. Did I tell you this? I don't know if I did. I had dinner with a friend, and we were just catching up, and this is somebody I've known for a while, and they were doing, your typical, not typical, but what I feel like many of my friends do, which is like, get the stable job, like start investing in real estate and like ASAP and stuff. And like, this person has 2 properties like already like at my age, and it's like doing good for himself, but we were just chatting about how like checking in, and he was just like, I think I really don't like my job, and it's probably gonna take, I'm just gonna give it 2 more months, and like I was just observing this person who I've literally watched grow up, and just thinking like, you look so not here. You look so not here to be at the edge of the like just holding on by a thread and like just like, but I gotta keep going because like, this is good for the like the long run and stuff. And I just question, I don't think there's anything wrong like with what this person is doing, but it just made me think about or like question like, how do you determine what is a good long term investment, I think, and like how do you decide what's worth like going for and what are the parameters in which you want to live in order to reach there. And when I observe this person, I think I just get really sad because it's like you have all of the things that like we've been told are things that you should have or things that are going to help you be successful in life. And but I cannot find myself believing that that is how to live life because of how like dead you look inside and how I feel your energy and you just don't seem content. And it just brought me back to like, my life isn't perfect either. I don't have all the things that I want, but just this knowing that like this being here makes me feel like, man, it's like worth like getting up every day because I'm just like, I can be with like the magic of, Norman likes to call it the magic of the mundane, but just like I can be with the fact that I'm here, that I get excited to see people, like I can feel all these things even though I don't have certain things in my life that I would want, and I feel at peace with that because this person is asking me, like it's crazy because the grass is always greener on the other side, because this person is asking me like I want to like know how you guys are like going towards your dreams and stuff, and like there's sort of this like unhappiness with like the situation. And I'm just thinking like, damn, like what can I take away from this interaction? And what I'm taking away is that like it really is about the journey. And I know I sound like a freaking like personal development guru, but it
like
really
a poster.
It really is about the journey. Like
Yeah.
like so what if you reached these goals if you weren't here this entire time, if you didn't celebrate, if you didn't like spend the time with your friends or family, whoever you care about? So what? Like it's still gonna feel empty. Like every person who reaches the goals say that. So like why aren't we listening to that? Why do we still refuse to think about that and still think like, hey, like that's the path that I still want to go on? Like yeah. But that's what I think of.
Yeah. That reminds me of like how much I used to struggle when, you hear like be grateful for what you have right now, no matter the situation. Even if you're not at your final destination or you're achieving your goals, whatever it is, like however little you might have, to be grateful for what you do have right now. And I used to have such a hard time with that, like being grateful, because I was like, I've already been through so much, and the little that I do have, I personally don't believe is little. I appreciate everything that I have, but it doesn't mean that, I think like gratitude and enjoying the moment are kind of two different things, even though they can bring a powerful experience once put together. Oftentimes people can be grateful and stuff, but they could still kind of feel a little empty or still really struggling and kind of honestly miserable. And because I had struggled with that, I think that I've kind of like switched my focus to just kind of at least enjoy the moment, and paying attention to that helps me be grateful. Like if I start with gratitude, it's hard for me to be happy. But if I were to focus on the fun and play and in the enjoyment of the moment, that helps me be grateful. And I'm just sharing that for anybody who might have a hard time with the whole like be grateful for everything that you do have, because sometimes being grateful for what we do have sometimes makes us reflect on what we don't have still, versus just like enjoying the moment. And I kind of wanted to touch up on what I'm learning about what rest means lately. So during our break, while Steph was gone for like a month in Hawaii, I was still home, and I thought that what I needed was a trip, and I thought what I needed was some time with family. But what I really realized in my solitude actually is because she ain't the only one who left me. Like she and Kato left me. Our other friend Megan left me. Like everybody kept leaving me, but I was just like truly in solitude. And I was like, no matter where I'm at, I could be in beautiful Hawaii, beautiful Catalina Island. I could be with my family, whoever it is, wherever it is that I'm at. My mental health comes with me wherever I go. My headspace and my brain goes with me wherever I go. And if this ain't right, even if I go somewhere, I'm not even going to be able to enjoy it, to be present, to appreciate it. No, nothing, because my brain comes with me. And if I'm miserable here, the outside environment, yes, could help because what the eyes are exposed to and what it goes into the brain to process, yes, that makes a difference. Yes, and I get that. But what is the point of paying all that money to go somewhere like Hawaii if I'm not going to be able to enjoy it, appreciate it, because I'm still sitting in my anxiousness? I'm still sitting in my darkness. So I realized, like, what can I do? What do I really need to change? This is a me problem, not really like an atmosphere problem. So what can I do? And what is the learning lesson here for me? And what I realized is that, like, I really need to slow down. What makes me think that I'm going to slow down once I get to Hawaii if I can't even slow down here on my day to day? And that's not fair to me. That's not fair to me that, Jiggy, you're only allowed to slow down when you're outside of where you live every single day. You're only allowed to slow down when you're on vacation. That seems unfair to me. And so even like I started to pay attention to everything that I rushed through, and I realized that I get so stressed, irritated, angry, frustrated, whatever it is, whenever it is I'm rushing. Whether it's like making my bed, or I want to fold my laundry as quickly as possible. I want to get through my shower as quickly as possible. I want to eat through my breakfast really fast so that I can just get to work already. Or I want to walk my dog really fast. Like, all of this would stress me out. But the solution isn't like, don't do that thing then. Like, I can't skip breakfast and skip showers. The trueness is that I'm allowed to slow down, enjoy every moment. And I realized that whenever I caught myself like in a rush, I would intentionally take a breath and intentionally start slowing down. And that just not this all makes sense, but like it naturally just calmed me down, put me in a better mood. I was able to enjoy the moment. And you know what I also realized? Time actually stays the same. Like I get it done the same amount of time that I would have if I was trying to rush. Which is like crazy. But it's as if like time is for me. It's as if like the universe wants me to slow down and be in the moment. It's like time ain't going anywhere. And honestly, if I didn't rush and took my time to get something done, it's only like 3 or 5 more minutes. If that. I can't give myself 3 to 5 minutes to enjoy the moment. For the sake of what? To rush? Rush to get to what? We're all gonna die. It doesn't matter. So, I'm really realizing like, this is all practice too. Like it's still very new to me, and I'm learning to slow down, take my time, take my breath. But that has relaxed me tremendously. And yeah, I'm saying that for those of you who can't go on a vacation. I just really think like, yes, I think that a trip somewhere and looking at something really beautiful can really help a lot. And also being able to practice the day to day, like how can you go on a mental vacation? For me, it was really recognizing why is this stressing me out? Is it the task itself, or is it because of how I'm doing it? And just like taking that ownership and learning to slow down, that has become my rest.
Yeah. What I hear from that is just like you're reconfiguring your relationship with urgency.
Yeah, because I'm from New York and they're always like. Also, when the part you said about how you like say good morning to people, yo, ain't no New Yorker saying good morning. Growing up in New York, the first thing you get in the morning, whether it's 6 a.m., 7 a.m., you get on the MTA bus and the bus driver like yells at you. If you don't have like the exact change out, if you don't have your Metro card out to scan already, like you have to have that thing out and ready to be scanned by the time the bus pulls up. You cannot get into the bus and then take it out. You have to have it out. You also have to have it out the right direction to go in immediately. You don't have time to like flip it. Just everything is like boop boop. Otherwise, it doesn't matter how old you are. You're getting cursed out. No good mornings. Otherwise, no eye contact. Get on the bus and let's go. So going from that to paying attention to the water crashing.
Who are we?
I got a long way to go, but at least I'm going.
No, that's
a bar. I like that.
Really, I really want to celebrate that because like that's the unseen work that I think that people don't understand. Because like there is a time, and this is what I mean by like Hawaii was just a culmination of like months and months of like work, and like part of that work was that too. Mm-hmm. It's like to actually stop like rushing, and to realize you have more time than you think.
Yeah. So reflection question for those of you who don't even know where to start with rest, or you don't even understand the concept of rest. You don't know what rest looks like for you. You think that you constantly have to go on a vacation to take rest. I just want to start you off like real simple. Like look at your schedule. Look at your life. Look at your life. And just kind of think like slow down. I think that people also want quick solutions to rest. Yes. This is that burnout prevention workshop. This is that rest workshop at corporate. Like, what? Okay, but like this workshop's cool, but like, what is the solution to my burnout? It's like, I'm saying this because I've had a workshop where the guy literally told me that. But it's like, yo, just slow down first and look at your life first. And it's like, what are you doing too much of? What are you rushing through on a day-to-day basis? Like, what is stressing you out, and why is it actually stressing you out? Why do you keep saying yes to all the projects? Why do you keep saying yes to all of the social life stuff? Like, what does slowing down look like for you, and what could that reveal? Stop asking all these coaches and workshop people what the answer is. You have the answer within yourself. And I feel like I went off about this like season 2. Like, stop asking questions. Do some reflection. Do it yourself. I definitely have said this before.
You definitely have.
At least I'm consistent, you know.
Honestly, yeah. Message is still the same.
Yeah.
That's a good thing in integrity. Energy's a little different.
Beautiful.
That's what I tell the trees when I pass by.
When I used to take pictures of the palm trees on our street, like, beautiful.
You know what? I did hear you say that for the first time.
In a while.
Yeah. The other day when we were walking, and I was like, oh, she be feeling a little different. she hit a little different. It's been like a year since I've heard that. It's been a long time, so.
Oh, wow. You're right.
You have not said that in a while. Oh, man. Because I used to say that because it was just coming out of like, damn, like, I'm here. I live here. I'm in California. There are palm trees. Like, somewhere along the journey, like, I think that got lost, and it was like, cool to hear that.
I got sucked into the bagel.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for tuning in.
See you next time.
Bye. Are we still clapping?
How's my face? Can you see my face?
My face. Aww, you guys look so cute.
Give me such mom energy.